Good afternoon. I'm Patrick Malater, founder of CPA Growth Partners and author of the new book, 50 Shades of Sales. In this edition of the video blog, we'll discuss one of the biggest hindrances to a CPA firm's and your success, that being beliefs. Now, as noted previously, becoming great at persuasion and sales skills can be valuable for both your firm and you. So, a natural question is, what's a roadblock that can stop you from even starting? The short answer is your BS, or more specifically, your limiting belief systems. Your beliefs. We're not talking religion here. We're talking psychology. Essentially, what you believe to be true has a profound impact on what it is you're willing to do and how intensely you're willing to pursue it. In my lengthy CPA firm career, I've heard and occasionally held a bunch of limiting beliefs. My guess is that you've heard some of the limiting BS too, such as, hey, we've never done that before, so don't ask us to do it now. Or our partner group isn't capable of blank, selling, learning how to do something, and so on. Or, I can't sell because I'm a woman, or I can't sell because I'm a man, or I can't sell because I'm a Martian. Or things like, I'm too young, or I'm too old to learn something. You've probably heard as well things like, well, we can't compete against, pick your competitor. Or things like, we haven't ever created a blank practice, so it's unlikely we'll be able to do that now. Or maybe even things like, we're just too busy to blank. This BS list can go on and on and on, leaving you and your firm stuck. Of course, bosses, colleagues, and family can have a huge impact on the beliefs you adopt. For that reason, you should be aware of the comments you make to others when they come to you with an idea. Furthermore, it's important for you to stand guard at the door of your mind when someone says that an idea that you have is impossible. Something like that happened to me in the late 1990s. At the time, I was tasked with starting an engineering-based cost segregation practice. I hired at the time as our leader, Price Waterhouse's national director of that service line. Now, our firm at the time didn't have the clientele to support such a high-powered individual just with our own clients. So one of the books that I was reading at the time discussed a concept called host devices. It's a marketing concept similar to what we would call affiliate marketing today. Using that idea, I thought we could form alliances with other accounting firms throughout the United States where our firm could perform engineering-based studies for them on a fee-sharing approach. By having these alliances, we could steady the stream of projects and reduce our selling costs. I was really fired up about my breakthrough idea, but when I explained it to my boss over breakfast, he said, that's one of the dumbest ideas that he'd ever heard. Fortunately for me and for our firm, I stood guard at the door of my mind at the time and didn't adopt his limiting beliefs. What happened? Well, within a 2-year period of time, that practice was generating over $3 million of net revenue with a significant net profit margin. Roughly 70% of the fees generated by the CPA Alliance partners overall compared to others. That practice ultimately became one of the most dominant firms of its type in the country, growing to 10 full-time engineers and being featured by the Journal of Accountancy. Now, a key thinker in the area of beliefs is author Robert Dilts. In his 1990 book on beliefs, Dilts highlights the relationship of one's beliefs, the perception of the capabilities, the resulting behaviors and actions taken, and the results that they achieved as follows. First of all, as you can see, one's beliefs and values influences a person's views and perceptions of what their capabilities are. Furthermore, a person's self-judgments about their capabilities can drive their behaviors and actions taken. Obviously, the actions taken or not taken by a person impact the results that they achieve. And of course, this can lead to either an upward or downward spiral. So here's an example of how a DILT's model might play out using certain stereotypes about accountants and CPAs. So let's assume that you define yourself by what you do for a living. So you might say, well, I'm a CPA, or I'm an audit partner, or I'm a tax professional. Now, stereotype beliefs or values about CPAs might include them being a little less extroverted than others, being content to be alone, and cautious. Now again, I know these are stereotypes that might not necessarily belong to you. People holding such beliefs likely wouldn't think they have the capability to be stars at networking events, or let's say be comfortable handling cold calls to prospects. Consequently, if forced to attend a networking event, they might behave in a way where they would hang out with a buddy from the office or stand in the corner alone nursing a beer. And they would totally forget about those prospect cold calls. So, what do you do if you're unhappy about a belief you hold? A simple first step to lessening the impact of your limiting beliefs is to become aware of them. Just becoming consciously aware of some of your self-imposed boundaries, for example, might cause you to stop and say to yourself, "That's nonsense. I don't believe that." Awareness helps, but generally isn't the silver bullet to ending a limiting belief's impact. There are multiple techniques that can work, though, to help put one to bed. Here's an exercise that will take you about 20 minutes, so watch the video first and then go back and do that. That should help you to weaken one of your limiting beliefs. So here's step one. Write down your limiting belief or beliefs. They could be things like, I'm too busy to learn influence or sales skills, or I'm an introvert, I'm not good at selling, I'm not smart enough to master new subjects, we can't compete against the big four, or we can't compete against the local firm's fee levels, we can't create new services, or our partners are too comfortable to hunt for new business. So pause the video now and write down your limiting beliefs. Welcome back. Now here's step two. Write down at least 20 specific reasons that detail how that limiting belief of yours has cost you and your firm in the past and how it's doing so in the present. Some examples might be, we've been losing key proposals on complex clients in the Miami market because we don't have that needed specialty in our office. Or, I'm under constant pressure by our managing partner because my book of business is too low. Or perhaps it's, we don't go after blank competitors' clients because we think we just can't win. Okay, again, pause the tape and write down your 20 prior and current costs arising from your limiting beliefs. Pause the tape now. Welcome back again. Here's step three. Write out a list of at least 20 specific costs and other losses that your firm and you will feel in the future to the extent you continue to hold on to these limiting belief or beliefs. So for example, you might say, our two biggest clients are going to be at risk because the XYZ CPA firm has this expertise in-house, and they'd absolutely love to steal these clients away from us. Or you might say, I could lose my equity partner slot or get a hefty pay cut. It might end up including, well, we might not be able to be an independent firm much longer if we don't grow more. Finally, you might say something like, our most promising employees will be recruited away because we're not able to go ahead and generate sufficient growth for them to become partners. Okay, pause the video now and list out your 20 future costs. Welcome back for the final step. Now, if you've done this exercise full bore, you're probably feeling some pain from that limiting belief of yours, right? Here's your next step. Identify and write out an empowering belief. This is often the antithesis of the limiting belief or beliefs you've noted so far. So for example, you might say, well, we have some real stars in our tax department who can be the international specialists that we want, so long as we're totally committed to the outcome. Or it might be, I've mastered some of the most difficult business concepts on earth. I can easily learn how to develop new clients. Now, on that same piece of paper, write out at least 25 specific benefits or wins your firm and you will achieve by embracing this new empowering belief. Some of the examples might be, well, our firm will be able to perform work on several of the high-profile manufacturers in South Florida with the new specialty we'll create. It'll really expand our market potential. Or it might be, I'll be working on client projects that I truly love to. It might end up being, well, I'll be out of the doghouse with respect to my business development skills. Or maybe it'll be, I'll be creating opportunities for all of our key professionals. Okay, now pause the video and list out your new empowering belief and the 25 benefits from that. Welcome back from step 4. Here's what the set of exercises will have done for you. Now, you might not have totally wiped out that limiting belief. My sense is, though, you're going to be far more open to options and possibilities and have significantly more resources. Again, limiting beliefs can be personal jailers and that they can cause enormous personal misery by leaving you and your firm stuck. Now, this is just one of many techniques that you can do individually or in a group setting that can put that BS into its grave. In our next video, we'll look at another area where many of us stop ourselves, the twin fears of failure and rejection. Until then, I'm Patrick Malater of CPA Growth Partners and author of the awesome new book, 50 Shades of Sales. Be well.